Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. And as you can tell from my apron and my background, I'm in my kitchen again because today I'm going to be doing another recipe for you. Now this is a recipe that's new to me and I've never tried it before, and I'm a little bit scared because I'm using a product that I'm not familiar with. But let me set my camera down over here and I'll show you the ingredients, and then I'll explain to you how I found the recipe and what's going on with it. So thank you very much for coming and visiting today. And today we're going to make no alarm chili. Okay, I have the ingredients here. I'm going to explain to you what I came about with. The recipe was on the back of this. This is Libby's seasoned beef crumbles. So there's real hamburger meat in here and it's been frozen. And this is where I found the recipe, right here on the back. But when I went to the store to get this, because the recipe actually calls for 2 packages of these. These are 6-ounce packages and it called for 2 of them. 6 ounces together is 12, and 2, that's not even a pound of hamburger meat. But apparently this is a discontinued item. The store didn't carry it. So what I got instead was this. Now this right here is real beef crumbles. This right here is a plant-based, meat-free beef crumble. And as you can tell from here, 13 ounces. So it's actually 1 ounce more than what the recipe calls for. And I've never used this before. I don't know anything about it. Now, I do know that I enjoy the Impossible Whoppers from Burger King, and they're made with a plant-based product. So I'm hoping that I will like this just as well. Now, I've never cooked it before, so I don't know if you're supposed to start with it thawed out or frozen or what. But on the back, it has 3 different types of cooking: in a saucepan, on a stovetop, and in the microwave. And all 3 of the types of cooking say it needs to be frozen. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to go ahead and do it with it frozen. Let me put this away back in the freezer because I want to keep this for something else. And then I'll explain to you about the rest of the ingredients. Okay, as I mentioned, you needed 2 packs of the Libby's seasoned beef, 6 ounces. But I got 1 bag of the Garden beefless ground meat product. And it calls for 1 can of Manwich Sloppy Joe mix, an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, and they call for Hunt's brand, but this was a store brand that I had from our local discount store. A 15-ounce can of red kidney beans, drained and rinsed. So I went ahead and took them out of their can, drained them and rinsed them in a strainer, and put them in here. Then you need 2 teaspoons of chili powder, plain chili powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, I think that's how you pronounce it, and a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. This was probably the garlic, and this is probably the cumin. And then the meat. And the recipe says mix all the ingredients together in the saucepan. Now I'm cutting this open with this because I never have any luck with those little tear strips that they put on them. They never work for me. And as I told you, it says a saucepan. But I'm going to use my regular skillet because I want to keep an eye on it and watch it to see what it does. So we're just going to go with it just like the recipe said. We're going to dump this stuff in frozen. Then we're going to dump the beans in. We're going to dump the manwich in. And the thing that scares me about this recipe, it doesn't call for water. And the tomato sauce, we're going to dump that in. Now we're going to put our spices in. The chili powder, the cumin, and the salt, garlic. And I'm going to take it over and put it on the stove. So let me put it on the stove, then I'll come back and get you and bring you over there with me. Now the recipe says to stir everything together and bring it to a boil, and then you reduce the heat. Now I'm hoping that this frozen meat's going to have a little bit of liquid in it when it thaws out. You know, like maybe some ice chips or something. Okay, it says once it starts boiling, which that's as best as it's going to do boiling, you reduce the heat and simmer it for 10 minutes. So we're going to do that for 10 minutes. We're going to let it sit. And you stir it occasionally. Okay, the chili is done now. Try to give you a little view of it in the camera if I can. It's very, very thick, like I was thinking. It seemed to me like it probably needed another can of tomato sauce or water, but I followed the recipe exactly like it said. So the next thing to do is a taste test. So that's what I'm going to do. Get a little spoon. It's real hot because I just took it off the stove. We'll see what kind of mess I've got going on here with this fake meat. Actually, I don't need that stuff. That's what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to give it a try. I don't really know. It's not a favorite of mine. I know that much. And it could be because I substituted a different kind of meat than what it called for in the recipe. If you guys can find that Libby's seasoned beef like at Sam's Club or Aldi's or something like that, or one of the other big box warehouse stores, please let me know. because I was told that it was a discontinued item at Walmart. And I didn't buy that meat. That meat was given to me by my neighbor. He cleaned a bunch of stuff out of his freezer, and he gave me that along with some ears of corn and some ice cream and stuff out of his freezer. I had never seen it before. And I know that he didn't buy it. His wife probably bought it. I would have asked him where he picked it up at. But anyway, it does not taste as good as I was hoping. I mean, it's eatable, and I'm sure that I will eat it. I may doctor it up by adding a little more tomato sauce to it. Maybe some ketchup, water, or something to thin it out. Because as you can see, it's awful thick. Anyway, that's the recipe for today. It's called No Alarm Chili. Thank you guys so much for coming and visiting with me today. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. I'm not going to say liked it because I would give it a thumbs down on the taste myself because it's just not. And I don't know if it's because it's not using real meat, and it's a plant-based meat or what the deal is. But anyway, thumbs up if you enjoyed watching me make it. And y'all come back and see me any old time. Bye for now.